Hi everyone, welcome to my latest EU4 Let's Play. My name's Macsen. During the course of this Let's Play, I'm going to be showing off as many of the features that were added in the Common Sense expansion as I can, and the patches that have accompanied it and since come out. I'm playing on 1.13 beta patch at the moment for this game, which fixes quite a few issues that the earlier 1.12 patch had. The Common Sense expansion is actually a really big expansion. It's changed a lot of things in EU4. So things like the fort mechanics now work in a very different way. Buildings are completely different. There's the development system which has been added to the game. So I'm going to be showing off all of those features and many more during the course of the Let's Play. So the actual nation that I've chosen to play as in a Let's Play is the Livonian Order. They're going to allow me to facilitate showing off certain features. Theocracies have been changed in the recent Common Sense expansion, so there's new events for leaders. You actually choose a decision based on an event, and there's events linked to that decision. Also, there's a new mechanic called devotion for theocracies, which seems pretty interesting. So I think they're a really good choice of nation to play as in Common Sense. Also, it's going to provide a challenge as well. A Livonian Order start out next to nations that are considerably more powerful than them, so it's going to be quite difficult actually. So you can see here I've actually done a couple of test games with the Livonian Order already. They're a particularly hard nation to play as, so if things go particularly badly, I'm probably going to start again once and then maybe load up a previous game I've started. I'll quickly show them so you can see what's in store for us with this game. So this is the first Livonian game I played with this patch. So I did pretty well, but what actually happened is Poland and Muscovy decided to declare war on me both at the same time. I wasn't able to keep my relations with Poland. Taken quite a lot of territory off Sweden, and Novgorod was my vassal here, but that's basically a failed game. And this second game, which is almost 30 years into things, Sweden was independent in this game, unlike the first game, and I'd vassaled up Novgorod again, but this time I was able to keep my relations with Lithuania. Lithuania didn't actually become part of a union with Poland, so they've been helping me out, and I've basically conquered much of Muscovy for my vassal Novgorod, which I'm going to be integrating at some stage here if I were to continue with that game. But I'm not going to be starting with any of those. Let's start a completely new game with Livonian Order. If things go tits up a couple of times, I may continue that game from that point on, 28 years into it, if you want me to. We'll have to see how things go. Hopefully I won't need to. So Ironman, Livonian Order, play. Let's get things started. So Livonian Let's Play. When I played Trebizond, that was the last very tough Let's Play I started. Basically I lost within half a year the first attempt, and the second attempt it lasted for 90 odd videos, so yeah, who knows, it may be similar this time around. Might not even need a second attempt, hopefully. Right, so let's put the time up there. I've got it on a mouse hotkey. So how do we start out then? So we're Livonian Order, monastic order. This is a new feature. You can actually upgrade ranks later on, but it's not available for monastic orders. But later on in the game we are going to be able to become Kurland or Courland, as a small nation that's basically got attacked by German empires and Russian empires during the course of its history. So we could become them. They actually were colonizers as well. They colonized Tobago and a part of Africa as well. So maybe could try and do that. You can also, well, because we're Livonian Order culture-wise starts out Prussian. So I'm not sure if I want to stay Prussian or not. Basically they were a German religious knight order. They were an autonomous branch of the Teutonic Order, basically, that had conquered this area around Latvia and Estonia. So I could actually culture shift to become Latvian instead of Prussian at some stage, if I wanted to, and if you want me to. Or I could just stay Prussian. In terms of game terms, it would probably be better to stay Prussian, because the culture group is much larger. There's a lot more provinces that are Germanic rather than Latvian or Lithuanian, which is that culture group. But if you want me to culture shift at some point, I will. So what else have we got to show off here? Monastic order. So you can see there's less in fort maintenance, tolerance of the true faith, so that's a bit of less revolt risk, and also a tiny bit more money, I think, from tolerance of true faith, if I'm remembering how it works, and less monthly autonomy. I've got a national focus to choose as well, so I'm going to stick that straight on military. Getting the early military tech is incredibly important. The Landmeister, our ruler, is absolutely terrible, the one we start with. Landmeister Henrik Winker. So hopefully he dies straight away, pretty much. I'm going to make him a general. Now this fort system is entirely new as well. The less maintenance is going to help out a lot. We could actually turn off our forts that we start with. We start with a couple, and also the fort in the capital. That's just the capital fort, actually, so it's not upgraded. These forts prevent enemies from moving to provinces beyond them, basically. They're like roadblocks. They can't actually move to provinces beyond them until they've taken the fort, or they can find an alternate way around them. Like, say, for example, I was at war with Novgorod. If they got access off Lithuania, they could come over here. So forts are an entirely new feature. They actually quite like how they work. The AI arguably doesn't really know how to tackle them yet. The AI needs to be a bit improved, but yes, perhaps in future patches they will. It's not dreadful, but it definitely needs a bit of improvement. So what else have I got to do? I've got diplomats to send. So let's start by looking at our missions. Form alliance with Teutonic Order. Now I was hoping for a different one to that. I'm actually going to form an alliance with Lithuania if they'll allow me to, and they are actually allowing me to by the looks of things. Sweden isn't independent at the game's start. They're still in the Kalmar Union with Denmark. So I'm going to make an alliance with Lithuania, who are still independent at this stage. They may or may not become part of a personal union with Poland. I'm not really sure. It's probably a bad thing if they do, but not sure. I'm also going to support the independence of Sweden. Sweden at some stage will try to rebel against Denmark. If they are successful, then we'll get an alliance with them, and they're a pretty powerful nation, so I'll definitely want that. Livonian Order are very weak and lots of enemies around, so I need to get powerful allies. Pskov, you might think that would be a good target to conquer early on, but they're actually a vassal of Muscovy. I have a decision about who to rival. I'm going to rival Novgorod, and I'm also going to rival Teutonic Order. You might think I should well, the thing is, Poland always goes after Teutonic Order. They're not going to last too long, probably. If I were to ally them, then it would drag me into war against Poland and possibly Lithuania as well if they form a personal unit. It might be better for me to just take territory of Teutonic Order early on, so I'm going to rival them up and not have that mission here. Oh, and we've actually gotten a formal alliance with Lithuania mission now because of rivaling them, so I'm actually going to take that, so that was lucky. So that's my diplomats done. I start with 8k troops. My force limit is 11. Forts, if I keep them on, I get army tradition. So it's well worth doing that, I think. The more army tradition you have, the better your generals will be, and it's really important having good generals. It is going to cost me money, though. So it's currently costing me 1.6 ducats, which I don't really need the money yet, though, because there's no real buildings to make it this stage in the game, so I'm happy to get the army tradition. I don't need army maintenance on, so I'm going to turn that off. I have 14 ships, and I certainly don't need all of these. So I could actually sell ships, but I don't think anyone would take them off my hands at the time being. So I'm just going to scrap them. The galleys and the cogs. I'm going to keep those couple of barks though. Let's put that on and trade in the Baltic, which is where my capital is. My merchants are in Novgorod and Krakow. Moving trade there. I'm happy to keep that status quo. Advisors, any good ones? That's a new feature as well. You can now retire an advisor to get a free one. So certain ideas which give you extra advisors are arguably weaker now because of that. It's going to be a while before I can pick ideas, but I've got a good idea about what I'm going to pick. I'll mention that later on though. So I'm not going to hire any of those yet, but maybe I will do in a minute. There's devotion up here as well, which I'll go into more details about in a minute, because we're about to get an event. Okay, so ear needed in Livonian orders. This is a new feature with theocracies. Lithuania accepted, Sweden accepted. Riga have offered us an alliance. Riga is this tiny one nation state here. I actually quite need the support of their 5,000 troops early on, so I'm probably going to ally with them rather than conquer them. Right, so this is an ear now. Based on the decision you make here as well, you get different bonuses and also different events linked to it, linked to the new devotion mechanic. So devotion gives you extra tax, yearly prestige, and papal influence if it's, well, the higher it is. I'm not sure if it gives you negative modifiers if you go below a certain amount. I've never actually gone below very low with it. So the first one I'm going to pick here is actually going to be Foreign Noble. This gives a huge influence boost with a certain nation, in this case Lithuania. All of these have a strong claim, which is great. I'm not sure if it's ever a weak claim. So in different circumstances I'm going to pick something else, but yeah, in this one I'm going to be picking that one, Foreign Noble. Whoops, right. So Arnold, 513, not too bad. Austria, Poland allied. Here needed. Completed that. Let's check our missions. In the game I did well actually when I basically vassaled up Novgorod and took a tenantage of Muscovy. I had this Landmeister for the entire period. He didn't die, so hopefully he dies early in this game. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. So I didn't have a mission for Riga then, did I? No. Right, I'm going to accept that. Okay, diplomats are back in, well, a day or two. So with this guy, what am I going to do here? I'm going to start making claims. Do I have a spy master? No, I don't. I'm going to make a claim against Teutonic Order. Now I'm going to need help to actually take these on. Everyone's militarily stronger than me around this area apart from Riga. Let's claim Memel. Chance of getting aggressive expansion here. Aggressive expansion is actually a lot in the recent patches. I think they're going to tone it down in future patches. I've heard something might be bugged. You can definitely form coalitions if you are a bit too aggressive. To be honest, with Livonian Order it's not so much the case because they're quite distant away. If you're playing in the HRE at the moment, it's very, very easy to form coalitions against yourself if you take too many provinces. I quite like it though anyway, to be honest. Don't mind. Quite like the coalition mechanics. Right, so we've started a claim against them. I'm going to make a claim against Novgorod as well in a not too distant future. With this diplomat, I am going to increase relations with Lithuania in a bit, but I'll start out by doing it with Poland. Okay. I think I might change the way I record in this EU4 Let's Play as well. If there's prolonged periods where I'm burning off aggressive expansion or not much is happening, I may just cut it out of the videos as well, which is something I haven't really done before. Right, I need to choose my neighbours as well. So, right, let's put that on favourite country list. I'm also going to pick that. So what I'm probably going to do is like play for 2.5 to 3 hours and then cut it up into half-an-hour videos. I'm probably only going to do an intro video at the start of every 5 or 6 videos. There'll be an intro video in the next video, and then maybe video 6 or 7 then, if I do decide to do it in that fashion. I'm going to try it out, see how it works. Right, Poland, Pomerania. Right, so that's all done. Let's... I did stick maintenance down, didn't I? Yes, I did. This army can move to there. Okay, alliance there. So it's going to be a period of waiting now while I get my claims, boost up my relationships. Not sure if there's going to be a war in this first video or not. Kind of depends. Most likely first war is going to be against Teutonic Order. Okay, Lithuania joined. Right, Sweden... Well, actually, there is going to be a war. Sweden's going to go independent at some stage, but I'm not going to take an active role in it. Right, they've allied them. I've made rivals now, haven't I? Yeah, so I need to embargo those rivals as well. Let's get that back. Get some PP points. Okay. So let's embargo Teutonic Order. They still actually want to ally with me, but I can't because they're my rival. Back there. I haven't tried actually allying Teutonic Order early on. It might be an option, to be honest. Excuse me. Let's embargo them. If you say allied Teutonic Order and allied Lithuania, and Poland didn't get a union over Lithuania, then that could work actually. Okay, the administrator, what are they? Diplomats, so they're not too aggressive, Poland currently. That would probably change later on now. Okay, diplomats back. Let's improve relations with Poland. The event for... I think it's an event that Poland gets to get a personal union over Lithuania, or maybe a decision, I actually don't know. But it's what historically happened, and it's likely to happen most of the time, but it doesn't always happen. Okay. Okay, right, so Sweden has kicked off their war for independence. So quite a few nations have joined them in that. It could be bad, Sweden going independent, could be good, it kind of depends. They would make a very powerful ally if they do go independent. If they don't go independent, it may actually make it easier for me to conquer them. But I kind of need good allies as well, so there's good sides and downsides. So the strength of their alliance... England actually quite frequently joins in with support here. That's... I'm not sure they've actually... Well, it seems that they would win that quite easily. But if Lithuania becomes part of a union under Poland, then Lithuania will drop out. I'm not going to take an active role, so my troops aren't going to help. Teutonic Order might not be able to help out much, so it may just be Sweden against Denmark and its alliance here. So that would be quite even fight, to be honest. Right. Is there any missions here? Nothing really. We can actually form a German nation, because we're Prussian, if I really wanted to do that. There's an achievement linked with the Livonian Order and Teutonic Order as well, where you can, if you conquer all of Russia, I believe it is, and convert it to Catholic, you get an achievement. But I want to show off the new Protestant mechanics that were added, so I will be probably becoming Courland, and converted to Protestant at some stage. I can't do that until at least Admin 10. I may get the achievement first if I can though. You have to let me know if that's something you want me to do. I haven't mentioned the development system yet, so I've actually got a big list here of all the things added to the game. New peace system, new looting system, building system, forts, theocracies, devotion, Protestant, government ranks, development. Yeah, so I've got to cover all of that at some stage during this Let's Play. All new features. Okay. Development wise, unless you've got a gold mine, you probably don't want to use it straight away. Let's take a quick look though. So this is development here. Development gives you all of those bonuses based on the level of development you have, and development is determined by these numbers here. So you can see that that's base tax, that's base production, and that's base manpower. And if you actually own the common sense expansion, you can actually increase these as well by investing in monarch points. Now I certainly don't have enough to invest in yet. Getting tech and ideas is more important. But when I have a bit left over, I will be investing later on, especially probably in manpower. If you have a gold mine, if I go over to Bohemia here, then if you get a lot more gold if you invest production and diplo points. So you can see there, if it's below 9 as well, there's no chance of the gold mine depleting. So you probably want to get your gold mines up to level 9 in development. The development amounts as well, for every 10 levels of development you have, so like 10, 20, 30, 40, it allows you to make a building. So in this province I can only actually make one building. The building system has been completely changed. All the old buildings, or at least what they did, has been changed. They all do slightly different things now. The unique buildings are gone. The government ranks actually give you extra diplomats and generals now rather than unique buildings. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier on, but I can only get a unique government rank when I become Kurland Count with a monastic order. So I'm going to be building all of these buildings later on when I get the tech to make them, and the development levels as well. So that one's only a couple away from getting an extra building, so I would certainly want to develop that. Certain terrain types are actually better for, they actually give you bonus amounts of buildings. You can see there, grasslands give you +1, and if I can find it, farmlands give you +2. I think it's also drylands give you an extra +1. All the others don't give you a bonus, I believe. Some of them actually cost you more in development costs than others though. Drylands an extra 5%, farmlands being the best. I think mountains are the worst, they give you -50%. And if you're in a really bad area that's Arctic, for example, you get an even bigger development cost. If I can find the right province. Not sure any of those are Arctic actually. But yeah, that's all like stuff I can show later on. Let's continue with things then. So let's make a claim on Novgorod and Ingermanland. I don't have a spy guy, I checked earlier, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. Comet sighted. No, right, so this is a loss of stability. I think they're all the same. I haven't read these recently. Sacrifice a human, okay. I'd go for the comet sense one. Okay, I'm not sure if they change under certain circumstances. I could upgrade my stability at this point, but I don't think I need to particularly. Perhaps the admin points or something else. So we did get a claim there, didn't we? Yeah. So let's get that back temporarily. Now you can see there that they have a larger army than me, so I'm probably going to have to wait until they get involved in a war before I can actually go after them. I'm not yeah, I can't actually declare war on them now anyway because they're in the same war as me for this one. So I'd have to wait even if I had a larger, if I had a big enough army to take them on. So I should probably continue improving relations with Poland in the hope of getting an alliance with them. I have, yeah, 3 or 4 there. Okay, Muscovy's just declared war on Novgorod, which is usually the case early on. Scotland are allied to them. Now this is actually good. I want this to happen. I actually want Muscovy to take a ton of territory off Muscovy to leave them with less than 100% there on that number at the bottom. That would allow me to vassal up Novgorod, which is what I want to do. If I were actually to conquer this territory, it's a different culture and a different religion, it would be very difficult to hold on to early game. So, and if I vassal them up, I can then take the territory back off Muscovy. So that's exactly what I want to happen. I could get involved in the war while that war's going on, but I'm probably just going to wait for it. There is, I mean, perfect scenario would be Muscovy doesn't take these territories along Sweden's border maybe, so I could take it. The key thing is getting under 100%, them taking enough to allow me to vassal them up. If they don't do that, it could cause issues. The strict dictatorial attitude of Landmeister Heinrich Winke has provoked the peasants and burghers of Livonian order, who demand that the ban on pilgrimages and superstitious practices is lifted. The rage exuded from these simpletons about bans that will in time be beneficial to all is not something to be tampered with. We take it all back, do any pilgrimage you want, lose prestige, or decision stands, lose devotion. So did I mention what devotion is? It's up here. You get extra tax, prestige, and papal influence. Prestige is much more important and harder to come by probably as well. So I'm going to lose the devotion. Okay. Right, my mouse wheel doesn't seem to be working very well. Sweden's actually losing that war considerably as well, so maybe they won't go independent. And Lithuania hasn't become part of a union yet either, so this actually may be going well for me. I think those two are the optimum results, possibly. Not definitely sure. Okay, former march. Vassals. They're intending on diplomatics in Moldova, perhaps. Okay, claim fabricated there. I've actually been playing for around half an hour, so I'm going to have to call it an end of the video at this point, I believe. In the next video, it's going to be much more eventful, as I'll be able to start my first war against the likes of Novgorod or the Teutonic Order. But I hope you enjoyed this first video anyway. If you have, please help out by giving this video a like. I'm really grateful to those of you who do that, as it improves my videos in YouTube's search rankings. There's a ton of competition for EU4, basically tons of people are making videos. But if you want to see someone who actually takes on a decent challenge with the likes of Livonian Order or Trebizond, then by supporting my videos, then I'll be much more willing to continue making Let's Plays for EU4. So I'm really hopeful that you help out in that way. If you have any comments or questions about this video or this Let's Play series as well, please leave a comment in the comment section. And also, if you're new to the channel or even old to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do. There's tons more content for many different games, and there are some guide videos as well for certain games that you may want to check out. You can do that by checking out the homepage. I also have a Patreon page. If you're really into my videos and you fancy supporting the channel and myself, then please check that out. Even a small donation on Patreon is equivalent to watching hundreds of videos in terms of how much Google gives me in ad revenue and YouTube gives. So I'm really grateful if any of you do that. But that's it for this first video. Thank you for watching, and please check out the next one.